I would say look for the positive in your life. And as you're looking for the positive, reach out, reach out and grab a hand for support because we can do this together.
Hello, and welcome to the Beat Cancer Answer, brought to you by BeatCancer.Org, the Center for Advancement in Cancer Education.
Hello, this is Carl Wagner with Beat Cancer, and I have here one of our wonderful coaches, Karen Holmes, and I'm going to let her talk to you about her journey with cancer and how she got to come to us and become a cancer coach. So with that, Karen Holmes.
Hi, thank you, Carl. Thank you. It's wonderful to be here.
Welcome.
I mean that with a full heart and gratitude, because being alive and being vital and full of energy is the message that I want to convey to all of the people who are experiencing cancer or who have experienced cancer like I did. It's a journey, and it's a wonderful time in my life to be able to come back and to coach other people during their cancer journey as they heal and recover from cancer. I came to being a cancer coach after I experienced inflammatory breast cancer, and that was back in 2011. And so I've been on this recovery journey for a long time. I feel very happy that I'm here. And the journey that I have been on started when I found out that I had obviously breast cancer, and I was told that I was going to get chemotherapy, I was going to have surgery, and I was going to have radiation. And all of that seemed rather intimidating. And I did go through all of that. But during that time period, I did a lot of research. I did a lot of reading about the other holistic practices that would be helpful, that would support me through my cancer recovery. And for me, those were the most important steps that I could take, that I could be my own cancer advocate. Although I didn't know anything about cancer coaches at the time, and so I developed some of the strategies that I've learned and I've read about in the BeatCancer.Org program. And so that all comes around when I finished my medical treatments, and I'll say that, they cured me. And that's in my story, that I became this, okay, you're done with all the treatments, you're done with the radiation, fine, we'll see you in 6 months. Well, then it was, now what do I do? And that now what do I do came to me as dance. I knew that food and movement were the best solutions to getting my vitality back. So I say that dance brought me back to life. And that's where my recovery journey really begins, because I knew that I had to change my lifestyle. I knew that I wanted to become somebody who was alive and vibrant, and not just somebody who was sitting around wondering what to do next. For me, the dance enlightened my life. In fact, I tell people I retired from my job and I flew to Maui and I danced. And that's true. And I came home from Maui and I didn't go back to work. I didn't go back to the career that I'd had for 32 years. Instead, I began this journey of finding out what I wanted to do next and how I could support particularly other women in their breast cancer journey. And that's where my focus is. And so I became a dance teacher facilitator. I facilitate something called Azul, which is a conscious movement dance. Now, you're going to ask me, what is Azul?
What is Azul?
So, conscious dance is really awakening one's heart and awakening what's inside of you. Through the dance, I was able to embody all of the feelings that I was going through. It's somewhat And I've talked to other women, they agree it's somewhat like PTSD, only in cancer patients,
Yeah.
where you figure out that, wow, I've gone through all of my treatments, I'm supposed to be okay, and now I realize what I've gone through and what I need to do to change. Concurrently, I changed my eating habits, and I did a lot of internal work to figure out where my path was going to go. That path led me to cancer coaching. And that's where I am today, to really believe in the support for other women. I want to be able to support other women in their recovery. I think it's really important to make that connection one-on-one. That's what really keeps us alive. That's what motivates us, inspires us to become all that we can be. You know, that once we've gone through this cancer treatment, we have the opportunity to change our lives. And I tell people, breast cancer was the worst thing and the best thing that ever happened to me. And it was the worst thing because I don't wish it on anybody. You know, it's not a pleasant journey. It can be full of suffering and angst. And yet what it gave me was gratitude for my life. It gave me the opportunity to change, reach out to people, to become somebody alive, somebody who can dance her way into freedom of all possibilities and ways of being. You know, before I logged on to do this interview, I danced for an hour. It gave me that insight as to where I wanted to go and what I wanted to say. And so that's kind of where I am today. That here I am as a cancer coach. I've spent the past few months clarifying my vision. When I was going through my cancer treatments, they say, have a positive vision. So my positive vision at the time was running down the coast of the Pacific Ocean. I was having a new little grandson at the time, and with my hair in a ponytail, so my hair would be grown. And so that was the vision. So the vision that I have created now is one of a three-part vision that I created in something called Pillars of Healing. And that's become my offering to breast cancer and cancer patients and women who are recovering from cancer. So in the Pillars of Healing, I offer 3 opportunities. And the first one is a one-on-one cancer coach. You know, call me up, text me, send me an email, and I will do a free discovery call with you that we can see what it is you as an individual need. You know, I think of you as I have created Lily, I have a blog on my website, that Lily is the person that I like to talk to. And for her, I say, I offer you that one-on-one individual assistance, guidance. I will listen, and we can move forward together, complementing whatever medical treatment you prefer to take. So that's the one-on-one coaching. The 2 other pieces, and the second pillar is really the dance, and offering dance classes and opportunities for women experiencing cancer. The kind of dance that I do, which is Azul, is very freeing. It can be done by anybody. And I say anybody, regardless of one's physical attributes, because it's something that you bring from inside. Azul is not something that you're going to have choreographed steps. I play music and I facilitate, and you move your body to whatever comes up. You listen to your body and say, oh, I'm going to allow this particular movement, or something comes up, and you'll say, I understand where I'm going now. So that movement, which I believe is critical to our healthy well-being. It really is. If you had to ask me what are the three things, it would be movement and what we put in our bodies, food, and some kind of connection with that, I want to say, spiritual or guidance through meditation or whatever you choose to take. That those are the three big things that are going to heal us. And that leads me to the third pillar. The third pillar is one where I am available to do presentations in person at some point, or online for people on how to prevent cancer, or what are some of the things that you can do if you are experiencing cancer, or somebody you know and love. Because I believe that all of us have known someone who has had a cancer journey. And so those are the three pillars: the one-on-one consultation, the dancing opportunities through my Azul, and the third one is I am available to give presentations to your organization, to your group, to your meeting. It can be a short one, it can be a fairly lengthy one, and is really geared to what the organization or your group needs and wants. On my website, which is pillarsofhealing.org, I give a list of 5 things, but I'm very happy to tailor any kind of presentation using the things that I believe are truly needed and wanted and beneficial to people who experience cancer. So that, in short, is really what Pillars of Healing is all about.
Wow, there's a lot to unpack there.
Yes.
But I want to say congratulations, first of all, for sharing your journey, but also getting through from what I was reading, a 45% chance of healing,
Yep.
and basically going through all the big 3, the surgery, the chemotherapy, and radiation, and going through all the hardships that go along with that, losing your hair, and just a fear to finding your life purpose and sharing with others. I think it's wonderful. Thank you so much for all of that. I almost laughed when you talked about Azul being something anybody could do, because when I dance and I'm expressing myself, you better stand back a little bit because you might get knocked over by accident. I'm not a good dancer, so I was just trying to imagine that, but that's wonderful. So how long have you been a coach now?
It's coming up on a year.
Wow, terrific.
Coming up on a year. I do believe that the coach in me stems from, I was in education and had a really nice career, and I am very available to listen to people. And so the coaching just falls into line with what I have done for a very, very long time. And being able to help people from where they are to what they want to become. And that's in essence what a coach does.
Yeah. So it's a natural progression for you, and you have such a soothing voice, I got to tell you. So I think even if people talk to you on the phone and didn't see you or couldn't interact in person, I think just that calming voice, and like you said, I'm here to talk to and to listen. I think a lot of people are missing that. They don't get that in the traditional medical treatment. So if they're going through traditional medical treatment, I think it's really great to take on a coach, somebody who's there to listen to you and guide you. That's wonderful.
I think it's really important when I'm coaching or anybody is coaching to listen to what the person who's going through the experience wants to do. Like I became my own advocate because I studied and I read a lot and I looked at the research. And if somebody had been there to guide me and tell me that there was research and give me the information, I would have been able to move forward maybe faster and a little deeper. I truly believe that there's a lot of information out there, a lot of research that's been done. And I have to say, repeat myself, that I think it's the food piece is really, really important. I changed the way I ate. I began to dance. I began to look forward to life. And if we look at the research, what it shows us is the people who are the survivors, are the people who move forward, are the ones who say, okay, I have cancer and I'm still going to be alive and well and full of energy. And it's that vitality. When I was going through my treatments, a dear friend said to me, she said, somebody has to be on the winning side, and I think that's you. And so I had to believe that too. And that hope and inspiration that I can give to other people is so important, because I've been through that. I've walked those steps, and I know that on a daily basis, not easy. But yet there's hope. There's hope at the end as we kind of graduate from the medical treatment, that that we don't graduate from a way of life. What I clearly see with the holistic practices is that's good, healthy living, for anybody, for everybody. That's what I believe gives us that push to become more of who we can be.
And you're a wonderful role model for people that have been through it and have this great fear of recurrence. That's a big deal. People, like you said, what do I do now? Now that my medical treatment is done, they just kind of pushed me out of the nest, so to speak.
Yes.
And now you got to fly and you don't know what to do. Exactly. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's okay. That's okay, because I was thinking of the word that you used, recurrence. And I hear that a lot. I'm fearful of recurrence. And the steps that we can take as individuals and as a group to ward off that recurrence, I think are important. And in your cancer journey, just making it through those treatments, but then setting up a lifestyle that will tell those little cancer cells not to come back. We have them floating around in our body, but we don't need them to reoccur. And that's the lifestyle, that's the coaching that we can do on an ongoing basis. Whether we're 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, 20 years out from our treatment, that our lifestyle changes and our view of life becomes more positive, that we can be filled with gratitude on a daily basis. And that becomes the message that I really hope that people will take.
Yeah. A change of lifestyle is so important, and some people don't. Some people don't change, and you're a wonderful role model of how you can go from one life and go through cancer and make your cancer mean something. Take it to the next level and show people, yes, you can completely change your life, and maybe this new life will be a better life than the old life. But sometimes that wake-up call is all you need.
It can, and you can create that better life. You and I and other people have that, I want to say, opportunity to create that better life. And I'm here to help other people do that. That's my function as a coach. It can be just a tiny, tiny thing. Because if you're on a street corner and you take just one step to the left or one step to the right, it can change your path.
Mm.
And so we start out with tiny steps that are very, very doable in your life. My life, that's what happened. And from that, you can make other changes and you see the possibilities. You see how it can change you. You can also see the benefits of some of these changes.
Yeah, yeah. Well, some of the benefits, I hate to say you can't see because it's like a prevention measure. You're talking about preventing. And when you eat better, some people just don't see it, but they don't realize how eating in a bad way is negatively impacting their life. Uh, but like, and two, with the movement, the dance, um, people don't realize how critical that is. I work with a cancer patient or a former cancer patient. He had have some lymph nodes taken out, and it was vital for him to do things with his arms, which he wouldn't normally do, to get the juices flowing because of the lymph nodes. So yeah.
And I think many women, particularly who've had breast cancer, are fearful of the lymphedema that can occur.
Mm-hmm.
There is so much that one can do to contain the lymphedema that is not just putting on a sleeve. And there's so much you can do with movement, with the massaging, with some of the other things that are recommended. And those are the little touches, the little changes that really can change your life. I had to smile about the eating piece because for me, when I changed the way I ate, I could feel the difference. I could feel,
Yeah.
you know, I also have to say I lost 50 pounds.
Congratulations.
So, you know, that was a big deal. That was a huge. And when I, you know, looked at what I was eating, I could see why cancer had a field day, you know. And so little by little, I changed it. It didn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to change what you eat. But I did it, and I'd be delighted to help somebody else do the same thing. And you have to see where it is that you or your client wants to move.
Right.
People are very happy with what they eat, and some people are very willing to change little by little. You know, you don't do it overnight, as I said, but there are small changes. As for the dance, I dance because I love to dance. I also know that anybody can dance, and most people like music, you know, so you can move to the music in any way. I also want to state that it's very important to find the movement that your body enjoys. If you don't enjoy running or you don't enjoy yoga, if you don't enjoy lifting weights, chances are you're not going to do it over the long term. And that's what we're looking at. I think it's important to discover what the rhythm of your body responds to. And whether it's a walk outside, whether it's on an elliptical, in a gym, and some of the gyms are open and closed right now, whether it's bike riding with your son or daughter or partner. Those are the kinds of things that we can discover will resonate with your body. I'll go back to the lymphedema piece. One of the things that I learned in my recovery was that I was very careful to build my arm to a state where it had the muscle tone, where it had the ability to have full range of motion. And the lymphedema, I was really careful with, but I got that arm so that it is today as strong as it can be. And that's very important. So that's something to work with a lot of people.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. People don't realize what someone goes through when you say breast cancer. They don't think anything's happening to their arm. You know, so and the eating part. Certainly people can feel that benefit. They just this internalizing the fact that they're changing their internal terrain and making their body an inhospitable environment for cancer to thrive. When they eat the wrong way, they make their bodies a place where cancer likes to live. And I like what you said about doing something that people will do for the long haul. It's like you said, it's a lifestyle we're making, and that's so impactful. I hope people get that message that it's the long haul. You have covered like most of my questions, but I do want to ask, when you were taking the course, was there something that stood out for you, or you learned that you didn't really know before, or something that really added to your program?
When I did the Beat Cancer program, I found, first of all, that it synthesized and brought together a lot of the information that I had picked up along the way. And so it put in one place kind of I want to say an encyclopedia, a compilation of the practices in which I believe. So, and to add to that, it was backed up by research. And that's very, very important, to show that there is definite research, that there's scientific evidence for these holistic practices. Because when you talk to people, they go, oh, that's just what somebody's saying. And that's really not true. What we're saying is these practices have developed out of research, out of scientific data that shows how we can prevent cancer and how we can work with our cancer recovery, and that it's not simply what somebody is putting forth in what they think, but we know that it helps. We can see that it's helped people in all different countries and a variety of different cancers in different stages of the cancer. So that research piece really was important for me.
Yeah. People don't realize that, Susan was doing that for 35 years. This is before she ever made a course out of it. So it's not only the science that she researched, but it was put into practice for 35 years of helping people. And I did notice that you said the Pillars of Healing.org. So is that a nonprofit?
No, well, it is. It probably will be a nonprofit. And so I had a choice of what I was going to name this. So I was advised that I could use the .org and rather than the .com. So that's where it is.
Okay. Yeah, it's whenever I see .org, I think right away nonprofit.
Well, I will be working with people to build what I want to say a business, but a business that really goes back into some of the cancer research, some of the cancer organizations that I believe are doing great work.
Good for you. Well, look at that. A whole new you.
Yeah.
Who knew?
It's great. When you ask for, like a one word aha moment. I think it's gratitude. I think it's vitality. I think it's inspiration. And that's for me moving toward a healthy life for cancer clients, cancer, I want to say people who have experienced cancer, because it's not just people who are going through treatment now, but who have in the past and want to make their lives better. They've stopped treatments and now wondering what they're going to do. How can I have a good life without a recurrence?
Right.
That is also important.
Live in victory and not fear.
That's so important, isn't it? That
Mm-hmm.
we live in a positive world. And sometimes that's difficult to do.
Yeah. Especially if you don't have anybody telling you there's another way. So many people, their family members just push them towards the doctors, and when the doctors are done with them, they push them back, and they don't have anybody like you to say, hey, look, there's a different type of life.
Or they revert back to what they were doing before they got the cancer.
Yeah, worst case scenario.
And if we revert back to that state, chances are it would reoccur.
Yeah.
And so we move forward, we move towards that better lifestyle, that healthier lifestyle.
Okay, so I'm going to sum it up here,
Okay.
and because I think you did a great job of covering everything. So just one bonus question. If there is one tip that you could give, and you gave some great golden nuggets all throughout. I mean, I could pull out 5 or 6 different things. I can make sound bites out of this. But if you had a one tip, what would that be?
So I'm talking to you, Lily. You are part of my blog, and I do tips for Lily and letters to Lily. Lily, I would say, look for the positive in your life. And as you're looking for the positive, reach out and grab a hand for support, because we can do this together.
Good one. Well, thank you so much. If there's anything else, would you like to add?
Check out Pillars of Healing.
Oh, yep.
And my email is on there, and my phone number's on there. I'm really, really good about answering emails, and would love to connect with you and do a discovery call and see where we can get together. What makes sense for the two of us to work through a cancer journey together.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I'll put the links in the show notes for YouTube, but some people listen on podcast, and it's great to mention that verbally. Thank you. All right. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. I really appreciate what Beat Cancer is doing and has done for me and other cancer coaches. I think it's really important that it become and stay a vital organization in the community.
It's a blessing for me to meet the coaches. I had a great time meeting you, and again, you are going to be a rock star with that soothing voice and positive attitude, and being such a good role model.
Well,
I think that's great. You're welcome.
I'm looking forward to this for quite a while.
Yeah, sorry about the delay. COVID-19 really just threw a monkey wrench in.
Well, to you and everybody else, but it gave me an opportunity to clarify what I wanted to do. So it was good for all of us.
If we helped you learn just one thing today about how to prevent, cope with, or beat cancer, then we have succeeded in our mission. Please remember to like, subscribe, and comment. We appreciate all of your feedback and love your suggestions. Your positive ratings help us to get discovered so we can help save more lives. Thank you again for joining us, and best wishes for good health from all of us at BeatCancer.Org.